Hey guys, you can hear me, right? Okay. So I'm kind of close. Wow, looks like my voice is really loud. No, maybe not. All right. So just let me know how the volume is on stuff as we get going, because I haven't balanced this in a while. It looks like my voice is pretty hot though. Okay. All right. Just let me. Yeah. I'm gonna turn it down a couple dB. And just as a reference, I'm going to play you some music. I know, it's a hot voice. So if I jump to a loud section, I don't even know. How's my voice in comparison to the music there? Okay. I just don't think I'm going to be able to talk over the music, most likely. So, okay. Cool. So, I'm actually going to be working on a section of this you guys have never heard before. Basically, Mikko and I have been... It sort of alternates between us with a few different styles of music. So, I actually did... sort of based on a suggestion, I did a section that is vaguely reminiscent of The Godfather, so we're calling it our Mafioso section. So just so you see what's going on, in sort of this top section here, this is my mock-up of the original version that I sent out to people, and then down below is where I have all of the players' uploaded files. So at this point I have done nothing but thrown in the files just to have them here. So the first thing I have to do is actually line them up based on where people played from. So hopefully they labeled them correctly, and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to try and avoid letting you guys see too many names. I know that would be something that bothers me. So yeah, sorry about that. And, oh, that's not going to be easy to do. If you guys want to hear the mock-up, maybe I'll just play you the mock-up before we get started, and you can hear kind of what this is going to sound like in theory, so... So and then it sort of blends in there to a section from Mikko as the arrangement goes on. So I'm going to work now and see if we can get these to line up, at least to start to line up. And you'll notice I have things, I guess you guys can't read it. So the way I have things grouped is I have them grouped by section. So I have the woodwinds, I have the brass, auxiliary instruments were harpsichord, piano, accordion, no piano actually. Actually there is, but we'll get to that. And mandolin, and then strings down below. So I'm working with a few tracks that for the most part, as you can see, I'll end at different places, probably because they don't really line up. So they were supposed to include which measure they started on, so we'll see how that goes. But I might just have to start by muting things and listening to each player individually and seeing where it goes. Although I see, so this guy started at measure 116, so I'll move him to 116. This one is at measure 175. So I'll go to 175. That looks like he played the whole thing. Okay. Measure 141. Measure 141. Yeah, this is the fan orchestra thing. So this is, I don't have all the parts at this point yet, sadly, because yeah, because not everyone has gotten it to me. So hopefully that will happen soon. So yeah, so this is the promotional piece of music. It will not be used in the game currently, but we will maybe you know, put it on the website and check, you know, hopefully people will check it out, and should be kind of some cool variations of the Overgrowth theme. I'm just going through and looking for anything else that might have measure numbers. So I'm pretty certain that people did not line these up correctly, so I'm just gonna start. Actually, I'm going to start with the auxiliary stuff, because this should all be pretty easy. So since this is a waltz, we have sort of our chak chak sounds, and that's going to be accordion and harpsichord. Now, I did get this guy to play a spinet, which there are two types of spinets in the world. There's the type of spinet that most people have in their home that is basically like a short upright piano. But there's an older form of the spinet that actually is similar to harpsichord. So while we don't have any real harpsichord, we do have a real spinet. And it sounds freaking awesome. I love the way it sounds. Oops. So it looks like he gave me two recordings of it. Yes, it's a similar type of plucked string, although I think it uses a different type of quill is the idea. So I'm just going to leave one of those open for now, and I'm going to use that as a reference. Now I have some accordion here. Looks like it should line up right about there. Awesome. I love it when things come together. It does sound a little different. It's a little bit heavier on the strings, and I think that it has fewer strings or something like that, or maybe more strings or something. Something about them is slightly different. So we did have someone who did not have a real harpsichord, but they did play with a sampled harpsichord instead, and we'll see if we can throw that one in, and then maybe get them to, you know, see which one sounds better in the final mix. Looks like the timing is slightly different. So this is now the sampled one, not my samples, but someone else's samples, which sounds okay. It's actually not terrible. It's a little more staccato. But there's something cool about a real thing. All right, there's another accordion. Let's just take a listen to that. And my computer is acting kind of slow because there's a lot of tracks going on here in addition to streaming to you guys. And that is at the wrong tempo. So we will mark that as wrong tempo somehow. Let's change the color of that. We'll make it an awful color, hard to see, yellow, and then I will know that that is no good for us for now. Well, Tonjevik, now you understand why I have such a fast computer. And it's still, you know, there are just some things that take time, take processing power. So this is another accordion. It's actually kind of cool that it's so bass sounding. It actually looks like I have between the mock-up, which is also all of these tracks, probably around 60, 70 tracks playing at the moment, and I've gotten rid of all of my MIDI and software instruments, so this is just audio. I could free up a few resources by actually deactivating these tracks, so they will now take up less resources. We'll see. It might work a little better. You can see here I have an audio performance. This is how well the audio playback system is going. And you'll see that there's just random spikes. The other thing I could do is increase the buffer size, and that would also give us a little more processing power. But before I do that completely, I'm going to play the samples, the mock-up, along with these and see if they line up. Okay, so that one is correct. That's correct. That's the one that's at the wrong speed. So that one's not quite placed right. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go up here and look at our mock-up. So in theory, measure 143. This should be the top. So I'm just going to put a little marker right here, and that's top of harpsichord section. And now I can automatically rewind to that spot pretty easily. And now I'll just make sure that everyone lines up with that correctly. So I see here that everything's slightly late. I've done something that I've just realized is going to kind of take a moment. This is going to be really boring, I'm sorry, but I need to calculate what they call beats. And what this will do is it will find all of the transients in every file. So the transient being the loud attack of every note. This will just allow me to more easily line up things, and we'll just get a little, so you can see it as it's working, chugging through all these tracks, just how many tracks we have to get through before I can really move on. So if I was a normal radio show, I could, cut to a commercial break and you guys could all, run to the restroom or something, grab some popcorn. But since I'm not, I'm going to have to sort of entertain you with song and dance. So, yeah. Or just laughing at myself. Ah, yes. The gladiators have would be a good thing. A bit of song and dance. I'm afraid I don't I can't quite think of any songs and dance. Oh, here I'll play some. I have a flute right here. I could play some stuff. I'm not singing for you. Heck, I don't like the sound of my voice, and so I don't want the sound of it to. I'm already speaking live to 4 people on the internet. It's crazy enough anyway. I sang What Shall We Do at the Drunken Sailor when I was in college. There's some awesome arrangements of that. I actually really love sea shanties in general. There's this awesome recording that I have that you guys should all check out if you're into sea shanties. Check it out. Shanties and Songs of the Sea. Johnny Collins and Dave Weber. Let me see. I can maybe play you like a few seconds of these because it's awesome. And let's see. What's the one that I like? There's well, here, since some of you are Australian.
In South Australia I was born, heave away, all the way.
I can't hear it,
South Australia is my home, we're bound for South Australia. All the way you're rolling kings to me, heave away, all
Yeah, you
the
probably
way.
saw it.
All the way you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia. Now as I walked out one morning fair,
Oh, look, here's
heave away,
Blow the Man Down. Wasn't that the one that you
I'm
asked
a
for? What should we
flying
do at the
fish
Drunken Sailor?
sailor just home from home.
No, that's not the same song.
Way, hey, blow the man down. Just give me some whiskey and I'll
Bound
sing
for
you
Botany
a
Bay? Let's see.
song. Give me some time to blow the man down. Now as I
No,
was
I don't think I do.
rolling down Paradise Street.
I don't think I do. So, my favorite one though is probably this Sailor's Prayer. The line is my favorite line is oh, I just thought of it a moment ago. I'll just play it for you. All right, here you go. Hopefully I don't get sued by ASCAP or something.
Been my home since last time I was sailing, but I'll not stay another day. I'd sooner be a whaling. Oh Lord above, send down a dove with beak as sharp as razors to cut the throats of them there blokes what sells bad beer me score, and then ashore, me money soon was flying, with Judy Lee upon me knee, and in my ear
That's right.
lying. Oh Lord,
To cut the throat of any bloke what sells bad beer to sailors. Alright, anyway, I'm going to stop it, because I think there's some precedent where if I play the whole thing, it sucks for me. Yeah, I'm sure let's see, you saw Abbey Road in here somewhere. There you go. I am a Beatles fan. Cutthroat Gloves. Yeah, I don't know. I have a pretty big random music collection, so who knows what you'll find in here if I go through everything. And look, we're getting relatively close to finishing all these tracks. I should have done this earlier, but what can you do? Go back to iTunes. Okay. Back in iTunes. What do you want to see? Just scroll through cover art. Alright. Here we go. I'll try and do it slow enough so that you can actually see some of these. Some pretty random stuff in here, I must say. A lot of classical, a lot of film scores, a lot of game music, random bands, stuff you've probably never heard of, stuff that probably shouldn't exist. Yeah, someone gave that to me. I think. I haven't listened to the Braveheart stuff. I'm sure there must be something in here you know, and then probably some stuff you don't. I do have some Cross, although not a lot. Dub Side of the Moon. That's this awesome CD. Yeah, I do. I have Cross by Justice. That's, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I actually bought it for a project I'm working on. Nin was my favorite band when I was in high school. I wonder if I can just hold... Oh, I can just hold down the button. There we go. This is maybe... You'll get more. The crab one. That was a Prodigy, right? Anyway, fairly good chance there's things you've heard of and never heard of. Hackers was an awesome movie. It was so terrible. Yeah, I like to sort things by album. I like listening to a full album at a time. So... and I don't like having the bands all grouped together for some reason. So I always like to shuffle by album, and it's always kind of weird. You want to hear some what now? Jethro Tull. I'm not sure if I have any Jethro Tull, to be honest. I still hear my computer chugging away, but I think it's getting close. We'll just flip back over real quick and see. Almost there. You guys better all have the Machinarium soundtrack, because that is an awesome soundtrack. Play it then? Alright. Probably one of my favorite soundtracks off of the, from the Humble Bundle stuff. It did. It did. You should go download it from Humble Indie Bundle if you haven't already. Make my voice all smooth. I'm not quite sure what how that works. I don't have a smooth voice. Here, I'll show you something I did for some TV stuff, and it totally sounds like it totally. Let's see, palm trees and whiskey. This totally is for like a biography. It's about somebody. Of course, I can't hear it, so I'm going to time it a little bit wrong. But anyway, here it goes. Hag the Coffee was just another guy sitting at home watching Anton streaming video to the world. Little did he know that his life was about to change for a long time. Yes, I cannot tell you about what that album is that you see on the right. Alright, so we're going to stop. And we're good to get back to what we were trying to do. So now what you'll notice is that all of our tracks now have these little gray lines at the beginning. And what that means is that I can now jump quickly to that and cut to that point and then drag that wherever I want it to go. So we can now quickly move things in time. Excellent. So we will do that with everybody. Let's say 43. Even our guy that was relatively in time, we're going to move him 143. So I'm liking that everyone's not perfectly in time. Zelda's good. I don't mind sounding like Zelda. Okay, and then that accordion, we might still time stretch this one if we decide we need it, but I think with 2 accordions we might actually be good. It's just that he's at the wrong spot. Just a little bit early, so I'm going to turn off my grid and I can just kind of nudge things around to kind of line it up. And let's turn off our mock-up now. We don't need that anymore. And yeah, and let's keep going. Now that we're pretty good with our timing, I think. So let's start. I just want to listen to these 2 accordions and see what they sound like. So this is this top one. Did the stream die for everyone? This one thing I don't like about live stream. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Live stream always puts these commercials in, and I kind of hate that. Maybe you guys, when instead of Yeah, maybe I should have had you like fast forward commercials and then you would have done stuff. Hello, Fully Lucid. What's going on? All right. So back to where we were. So we're gonna. I think I might be able to use these two accordions together. So this one's kind of this lower sound, and we kind of have this higher one, but it's a little more staccato. So they kind of work well together. So maybe we'll pan one a little bit to the left, and the other a little bit to the right. And I think we might do a little EQ to just kind of separate the fact that it's two. This is Digital Performer, is the software. Sure. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you want. All right. Kind of like that one accordion being a little brighter, and then we will make the other one a little bit darker, I think, to kind of let them go. Logic Pro is awesome. I've just been using Digital Performer for years and years and years, and I just can't get into Logic enough. I don't know. I do work professionally, so it's a major commitment for me to switch at this time. So, you know. The scum bar? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I've never played Monkey Island. There is electric guitar on this piece, but not in this section of it, I'm afraid. So I'm actually really digging this accordion sound between the two of them. So let's bring back in our Spin It, which is way too loud at the moment. Timing is a little tricky here, huh? Thanks, dude. This is an awesome little. I don't know how you got here, Fully Lucid, but I'm working on a video game called Overgrowth, and this is based off of the main theme. So I'm just doing some weird. Oh, you did get here through Wolfire. All right. Well, in that case, forget what I was talking about. This is a community project, so. So these are all players from the Wolfire community, so it's awesome. Yeah, this MIDI one is just not working out for me. Yeah, the timing's a little loose. I'm not quite sure that I'm going to... we'll see how much I get in and nitpick about all of the timing. For now, I just kind of want to get a little things. I have been working on all of the music so far, which I've been playing all the ethnic flutes, but so this is actually a collaboration arrangement that Mikko, who has written all of the main music, and I have done. So we've each written sections, and it flows. It's about 8 minutes long. I've written, and we each wrote about half of it, although his is in 4 sections and mine is in 2 sections. But we both arranged about 4 minutes. So let's listen one more time to this last spin it part. Timing is still a little bit off. Oh, nice to meet you too, Fully Lucid. I'm in IRC all the time. I'm in there right now, although I have it muted, so I can't hear it. But, you know, feel free to hang out and chat. I think I'm literally there every day. Only one N, Tanjevik, so S-P-I-N-E-T. Okay, so now let's add our last little section, which should be mandolin. And for this beginning portion anyway. If I could speak well, that would be helpful. There's mandolin. There's actually two mandolin parts. Ideally, I wanted to write for a mandolin choir, including a mandola and bass mandolin, which would have been awesome, but that did not present itself. So. Okay, it's timing. We have to work on that. Oops, that was silly. I still wish that I had more mandolins than what I have. Lyrics are always useful, so this mandolin part may or may not be usable. We'll see. Oops, we have some wrong notes there. Unfortunately, mandolin is a little bit tricky to play tremolo all the time. Let's see where our wrong notes were. Oops. I'm actually not using any samples at the moment. These are all live players. I don't use, let's see, I mostly use a lot of East-West sample libraries in addition to stuff. Basically no software comes with good samples built in, so you know, there's tons and tons of them out there. So, so that's right. Aha. So our accordion is playing a minor chord when it should be playing a major chord. Oh, actually, I should pull up the score because I don't remember for sure. Where's my notation? There it is. See ya, Hag. Have fun. That's not good. Okay, so this is the actual music written out, and we'll jump to this section. So here's where they should be playing. So actually the accordion is wrong. He should have played E minor, and he played E major. So let's see. Nice. Have fun, Hag. Oh, I guess he's gone already. Okay, there are E minors, measure 163. So we're going to grab those and move them, I think. That's too bad. The voicing is really different there. Mechanical loops. Huh. Creating them on your own. Yeah, I agree, Sai. It's always fun to create things on your own. Actually, East West has a new library called the Dark Side, which is kind of designed to sort of give you that Nine Inch Nails industrial kind of sound that might be cool in that vein. Yeah, you know, if you look for industrial samples, also Big Fish Audio is a good place to find samples. I think it's just bigfishaudio.com, and they have tons of stuff. I can't say for sure if they have anything industrial sounding, but that would be a good place for musical industrial sounds. And I'm sure there are other cool places for more sound effecty ones, but since I only deal with music, I'm afraid I don't know where those are. So let's see how that plays now. Interesting. So I know some other people were talking about playing the mandolin part, so we might have to, you know, it'd be cool to at least double that with someone else. Otherwise I might have to do it with some synthetic stuff, samples, which I was hoping to not do, if possible. See, where was that measure that I grabbed it from before? 163. Well, people pay thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to sample pieces from other people's music, especially for commercial purposes. So it's, you know, highly recommended that if you're going to sample from another person's piece of work that you get permission. Oh, you know what though? Actually, I take that back. There are some of the newest Nine Inch Nails albums have been released under Creative Commons, but they have been released under the version of Creative Commons where you cannot use it commercially. So if you're not using it for a commercial work, you can actually use actually anything from Ghost and newer have all been released under Creative Commons. So so yeah, I think you can, so the Slip also, probably not the soundtrack for The Social Network. Probably the movie studio owns that music now. And then maybe also the band that he has with his wife, How to Kill Angels or whatever it's called. I always forget what it's called. Yeah, that's I know, or at least things on The Social Network sound like they were just lifted from Ghosts. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the case is with that. They may just be licensing them from him. Chances are they couldn't buy it since he had already released it, so those tracks would probably still be okay. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm not sure what the word is. Cool. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you guys later. Or catch you later, yeah. Okay, so that is the harmony. No, I know you guys are staying. My namesake loves me. Yeah, I knew it was just one person leaving. I just pretended, just to keep you guys on your toes. Sounds like it's a beat off. So unfortunately, our mandolin may not work in its current state, or it may. Well, let's start adding some other stuff. This is really not usable. And this one I feel bad because I know that this person spent a lot of time trying to get a good recording of his or her synth harpsichord, but what can you do? All right. So now the other thing that plays during that section that is fantastic is trumpet solo. So let's open up some brass and see what we can find there. Actually, we'll start with our friend Samusaron 33, whatever his name is in the Aaron in the IRC. He is another tuba player like myself, and we like that. We like tuba. So let's see what he has given us today. We're just going to chop him to be kind of on the beat, just to start. Oh, come on. I played you some awesome tuba that day when we listened to a bunch of tuba. And you thought it was awesome too. So I think actually what we could use in general is a little bit of reverb. And luckily I have some reverb ready to go. We'll just, these are what are called sends. So I'm using a lot of plugins, and on the plugins, the top section, these are called inserts. This means that the sound goes into the insert, is modified, and comes back into the track in a way that you can't keep them separate. It completely replaces the sound as it comes out. Whereas this being called a send, so it's going out this channel, but then it's coming back in another place, and so you can mix the two together. And so what happens, I'll start with just the spin it, just so you can hear it. So this is without any reverb. And then when I turn reverb on, you can see that it's now coming through this track a little bit right here. Sounds like we're listening to two harpsichords. Oh, because we're in solo mode. We just want one. And so then I can adjust how much is being sent here. I can send a lot of reverb, or I can send just a little bit of reverb. Typically you want it where you feel it but don't hear it, is kind of a good rule of thumb. As you see, when I stop playing, you hear that it sort of lingers afterwards. And that is the sound of the reverb. So this negative 8 dB seems to be working well. And the reverb that I'm using right now is this kind of moldy room with water damage. I like it. It's an echo chamber at a recording studio called Cello Studios. I'm not sure actually where they are. In the Netherlands. Sorry. So what an echo chamber is it's a room where they have a speaker feeding into it and then a microphone on the other side. And while you're recording, you actually play music into this echo chamber and you record what it sounds like. So if you've ever, been in a place and you're like, oh man, this room sounds so cool, that's literally what they're doing. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I know. I know you've seen it before, but I have to tell, I don't know, whoever else is paying attention. So there's definitely too much on the accordions. Nice playing, Aaron. I'm excited about that. Oops, this one's timing is not quite as good. What's up with that? That's really bizarre because that's not where it looks like it should be playing. Really, really peculiar. So this is a list of all of the sound bites that I have. Sound bites are what they call sort of the audio portions of this. It's really confusing me. For some reason it's not lining up where it looks like it should be lining up. There we go. Let's see which line we like better here. Interesting. I think the other one's probably better. For now. I'm gonna probably have to come back and tweak this a lot once I get a few more submissions. And we'll see how that goes. So let's finally get let's try this trumpet first. They're playing the melody at this spot, and we'll just see how that sounds. And it seems like it was late. Oh boy. Or early. That is clearly not the right spot for that. Let's see if maybe it's in here. No, that's the beginning of the song. There's a pseudo trumpet cadenza at the beginning, which you guys haven't heard yet. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. There we go. Almost there. A trumpet pseudo cadenza, not a pseudo trumpet. Just because I speak incoherently doesn't mean you have to make fun of me. This also seems to be at the wrong tempo, and we're not sure why. Let's check out what the other person has done. Well, I think we have a winner. Wow. That was actually quite almost moving. I'm excited. I could maybe call him for real for a job. Um, I will have to look that up. So, wow. All right. I guess that means we can move on because the other one was just not, yeah, as we thought things might happen. Okay, so we have sort of our bass line, and now what we want to take a look at is strings or woodwinds. Strings or woodwinds. Well, you know, this is a volunteer orchestra. We have to accommodate things. I think I'm actually going to not do woodwinds first because the strings are going to play sort of underneath the woodwinds, so it will actually make editing in the woodwinds a little more realistic. Well, no, this is live orchestra. Changing it to a synth strings is the wrong idea. This is supposed to sound like similar to the intro to The Godfather. Yeah, I'm going to shut down your suggestion, sorry. Not that I don't appreciate suggestions, because I do, but in this case, this is an arrangement specifically for the volunteer orchestra from the community. So these are only real players. Yeah, well, no worries. That's why I'm letting you know now. So we will keep going. I actually really like the trumpet a lot. I think it's great. So I'm very excited. All right, so we're going to take a look at strings. And I guess we'll just start at the top this time. See what's going on here. Actually, I'm going to look at my part real quick and try and remember where the strings come in. Okay, so they actually come in after the trumpet solo. Dun, dun. Which means that these are oddly early. I hope they're not out of time again. That would be rather disappointing. Oh yeah, I'm in DP. Sorry kids. Just kind of forgetting where I'm at a little bit. So this should in theory go over here. On beats 2 and 3. Yikes, it looks like it is maybe a little bit rushed. Nice. We like Cubase, Sai. I hope you enjoy it. On 77. Yes, that is the right placement. And as you can hear, pizzicato violins are quite soft by themselves. So these are going to be a place where the reverb will be very useful. And we're going to try and pan this so it's kind of like this is going to be our first string section. Our second strings are going to be right around in that area. They're both out of time and out of tune, unfortunately. So again, at this point, I'm not going for timing yet. That will be something I'll clean up in a little bit. Right now, I'm just going through all of the takes that they've given me, and we'll give it a shot. Just kind of get it close to where it will be in the end, and then I can come in and clean up timing issues and things like that. And what will really help this stand out will actually be, looks like we have some cello here. The cello plays on the downbeats, which will help solidify the rhythm. So he's a little bit soft, unfortunately. But soft is something that we can deal with. So I'm just going to slap a little compression on that. Actually, I'm going to stop it from moving on to the third section. There we go. So it's going to now loop this section that we're working on. And as I was saying, we're going to add a little compression. This is one of the times I wish I was in Pro Tools for one of the compressors that I like there. Would sound great on cello, but since we're not, we're going to use some other ones. So this is what they call an opto compressor. It uses an optical monitoring device in the analog version of it. Uh-oh. I'm getting a phone call, guys. I'm going to have to put you guys on hold. And actually, I'm going to stop the stream. I'll probably come back in about half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. So thanks for hanging out, and I will be back, hopefully. All right, see you guys.